So you guys don't remember, Frank and Friends flagged one of my videos when I called him out on being just that creepy guy. I think we all know what we mean. If you have a female friend or a girlfriend and you take her to Magic the Gathering night, game day, or FNM, or pre-release, there's always that one creepy dot guy who's always hitting on any female, any and every female. I saw this at GP Houston 2 years ago, where this creepy Frank, it could have been Frank, went up to a female player who was just minding her own business. I think she was by herself. She was in the main event and just began hitting on her using the cheesiest lines I've ever heard. It was gross. I felt disgusted. But today we're going to talk about the top 10 tips to pick up females in Magic the Gathering by Frank. Now, Frank is an expert. His success quotation rate is very high. According to many sources, this is a guy who is picking up people left and right, left and right. And let's talk about how he does it. He presents himself as a holier than thou type. He is always fighting and saying that he's self-righteous and he is... This is from Rogue Deck Builder. Really honest guy. I started my YouTube channel because of Frank, and I was a huge fan in the early days. Had to unfollow a few years later when he would go on his self-righteous spats, and then found out he was a basically hypocrite.deck. And this is what you're going to find a lot in our community is the people who are saying bad things about you, the people who are criticizing you, the people who they are the ones with the most to hide. It's always true. If you are not afraid of the sunlight, you behave and act differently and you don't get all self-righteous. So let's talk about, I'm just going to read you this. This is from the boyfriend of one of the girlfriends. This happened multiple times to multiple guys, multiple Magic players. So pretty much he is a predator. Frank and my soon-to-be ex-girlfriend have been chatting for a few months now. She told me that they flirted back and forth, but I brushed it off. I should have done a follow-up. Tonight she went to bed while I stayed out in the kitchen to play a game of Sealed with a friend. I wanted to show him some card interactions on the computer when a Facebook message came in on another tab. Thinking I was still signed in, I changed to Facebook to see Frank messaging my ex-girlfriend about naked photos that they've exchanged. As were common law, I took whatever photos that I could lawyer up and confronted her immediately. It turns out he's been texting her sweet nothings for a few months now. So much for honesty. Two cheaters in love, the jig is up. This happened maybe dozens of times. I mean, Frank is well traveled and he used to be a famous pillar of the community. So let's see how he does it. You're going to sleep is the worst part of my days. I think this is 11:38 at night. Waiting for you to wake up is the worst part of mine, but also most productive. It seems we share similar feelings, you and I. Probably English major here. It would seem that way, yes. I hope you spend the night enjoying those pictures I sent you earlier. I already did. I will more so later. I mean, come on, guys. This is the pillar of the community. We're going to keep reading, but at this point in time, he's going to flag this video. So you guys got to anti-flag. I don't know how we would defend against the flag. He's already flagged one of my videos, but I don't think personally that this is it's all public. It's all public. I mean, if you didn't want this to go out, you shouldn't cheat on other people. At this time, he was dating the most famous female Magic the Gathering personality, Melissa DeToro, ever. And this is how he's behaving. I see. He's angry, but we have a friend over, so he can't be angry. There might be backlash against you. I don't know what. What specifically? I don't know. Also, this is twice in the last few days. I'm almost wonder... Okay, he's not English major anymore. if you're deliberately caring less. Pickup tips by Frank. I mean, I could make a whole series about this if you guys really wanted to. Although he probably would. I don't know. He's a public figure. I don't know why that video got spammed, because he's a public figure. Melissa's a public figure. He's out there streaming and making videos, and he was a very famous Magic the Gathering figure, well respected, a high moral, ethical individual who, if you did something bad, he would hold your feet to the flames and set you on fire. Turns out to be, I mean, let's keep reading. It gets pretty bad. It gets pretty bad. I mean, it's one thing to hit on someone else's girlfriend based on your Magic celebrity status. It's totally another to have a significant other, Melissa, who is very well regarded in the community and who many people find very attractive. And this is what you do in your spare time? That's crazy. Also, props to the manipulation game he's playing with his needy. I'm sure it's just me though. He's just dumb enough to fall for this shit, so kudos to him. I confronted her at this point. She spilled everything to me, that he's wooing her to him, and she thinks that they might have a future together. Remember, this whole time, is in a serious relationship, that he moved to Seattle with Melissa, giving up his job, and that he's unhappy with his life and wants her. So this is kind of a pity. This is like we all have that friend who's very kind of pathetic and pitiful. And I don't know why they're still friends, but I'm still friends with them. But we all have that friend. In Community, it's kind of like that Tom Haverford character, where it's just like, ugh. I confronted her at this point. Oh, let's keep reading. Also, this is twice in the last few days. I almost wonder, okay, this is the same. I just want to talk to you. And it'll sit beside me while I'm playing on the phone, and message from you will pop up. Well, that's a little disturbing. Now what you said, the potential of backlash. Okay, cheaters are only upset when they get caught. They're not upset that they cheated. They are upset that they've been caught. People like this are not upset that they're doing bad stuff. They are upset that there is backlash. It's easy. It's easy for me to say, Frank is just a player. He's just amazing, and he has Melissa on the side, and he's hitting all these, other Magic the Gathering male friends. I don't know if they're his friends. Okay, he's hitting on all these Magic the Gathering female players. And he's not the worst one, actually. There's a Magic Pro far worse than Frank, in my opinion, given the fact that... Oh, here's the thing. If you decide to be a Magic celebrity and you hold people to a high ground, make sure that you're in a higher ground before you start saying stuff. I don't think he will. How you are taking this so calmly? I'm not. Well, I'm impressed. What we're seeing. So here, Frank is a little concerned. He's showing his true motives, I guess. Is now he's worried about the backlash. The boyfriend obviously found out. Frank knows the boyfriend found out, and he is trying to mitigate damages. When people steal and cheat and they lie, they do so because they feel like they're not going to be caught. And when there's any inkling that something bad can happen, they turn face. And this is what's happening right now. So Frank is no longer interested in nude pictures anymore. He is interested in what the backlash would look like. And oh yes, Frank, it's bad. It is bad. And let me just be very honest here. Props on Melissa, very, very sad story for her. And I don't want to drag her in, but she is critical to the story. Most Magic players would love to date Melissa. They would love to be in a relationship with her. She is, in my opinion, one of the most attractive Magic players. And yet you have this douchebag right here. And it does break, if you are a fan of Melissa, I don't think you can be a fan of Frank's anymore, knowing what he did to her. Yeah, Frank, she just wants to talk to you and send you pictures of her blank. I can't believe my boyfriend sits there and asks what I'm doing. Audacious. I don't know what kind of relationship Frank and Melissa have, but it seems to me from these messages that she doesn't know the extent of what he's doing or his stated feelings for my ex. And you can see this poor sucker. I mean, he has MTG land. I mean, he's just playing a game of Sealed with his buddy, and this happens, and Frank is sex texting him. I mean, okay, what we're seeing, I don't know. We're going to be breaking up. I do not think you are alone there. Fair enough. So now Frank is seeing the how should I say this politely? I mean, you guys get what's happening, right? Frank is seeing that they're breaking up. Now he's going to make a move. If he's already hasn't made a move before, he has nude pictures. He's probably sent nude pictures. How is this guy a pillar of our community? I mean, it's hilarious, but at the same time, if he's so afraid of this backlash, he shouldn't be doing what he's doing. Because eventually, with today's technology and internet, if you're chatting and sending nudes via cell phone or, God forbid, Facebook, yeah, it's going to come out. It is going to come out. And I feel like the fact that he's hitting and cheating, and it just shows you the character. Yes, it doesn't take anything away from what he's accomplished in Magic. I'm here, okay, for anything. Don't be afraid and don't push me away. I need to try to get some sleep. I'm going to have a long few days. I won't. Promise? I promise. Sounds like a serial killer, to be quite honest. I was watching, what was it? A Netflix thing where they have to go into minds of serial killers. It wasn't that interesting. But, man, it sounds like he's trying to convince her that he's there for her. And he's seeing this as a opportunity because, you know, she's going to break up. She'll be in a emotionally damaged state where he'll make his move. At the end of the day, it is quite sad. I'm sad for Melissa. I'm sad for this guy who has a girlfriend who's cheating on him. And I'm most sad for Frank. This type of person who wants you to believe he's perfect and is such a hypocrite. It's just sad. I wish them both the best. As for you, Frank, I gotta say, you are a pathetic scumbag. My ex-girlfriend tells me you told her that you're tired of the seemingly picturesque life with Melissa, that you are simply keeping up appearances that you want to be with her. You're obviously lying to one of them. So what happened was this was posted on Reddit. Reddit, of course, took it down because they love Frank. And more people, before they took it down, more people said, hey, he did that to me. People came out of the woodworks. So many people saw the exact same text. This guy copied and pasted text after text. He didn't even come up with his own text. He has Okay. The same goes for Newmont Gaming and Channel Fireball. Either way, go blank yourself. Feel free to use my ex's scanty photos to get you going. And on a personal note to Melissa, I'm sorry that you had to find out this way. You don't deserve any of this shit. So it wasn't just this one person. It was a ton of them came out the woodworks and say, wait a second, Frank sent the exact email to me or exact Facebook message to me. And then you look at it and you're just like, okay, this is the douchebag hitting on every female he can see. It's just sad. I feel sad for Frank. Like, I feel really sad. I feel pity, and I feel like he is a pathetic human being. And at the end of the day, this stuff does come out, Frank. It's just, you're sending nude photos, or you're receiving nude photos of a person who lives in the same home as her boyfriend on the same iPad. What do you expect? Anyway, that's it. Remember, guys, don't be a Frank. That'll be my new slogan for this channel. Don't be Frank. Don't be Frank.